Hello again. I'm Shute Kelsch, minister here at Second Parish in Hingham, located in the Glad Tidings Plain on Main Street. And I'd like to bring you some good tidings, some glad tidings that I hope will cheer you as we live through this pandemic together. Today, I'd like to share some thoughts about social distancing. As a matter of fact, we human beings don't do social distancing well, do we? We need touch. From the moment that we are born, someone is reaching out to us and we are reaching back for physical and spiritual nourishment. The sense of touch exists so naturally in our being that we often don't realize that there are some aspects of it in which we must be schooled. Yet there are other aspects of touch that we seem to grasp instinctively and depend on so fully that without it, we are challenged to communicate successfully. Not only do we need to touch, we also need to gather, coming together to celebrate and to mourn, gathering in ceremonies that acknowledge births, graduations, marriages, deaths, and other milestones. Daily, we join each other for meals, for sporting events, for concerts, for meetings, for all manner of communal activities. And yet here we are, in a time of social distancing, less able to touch or to gather. And even as we complain and chafe under these restrictions, we know social distancing is designed to enable us to gather again in the future. It is necessary for our survival, and so we will do it. But how? How can we do it and retain that ineffable sense of meaning that physical contact and gathering in groups brings to our life? First of all, we need to name what it is about social distancing that troubles us. Once we know what that is, we have a better chance of addressing it. Having identified what we are missing, we need to discover what will help us experience those things given current restrictions. I know that I miss the connection that a touch, a handshake, a hug provides. That kind of connection that can transcend words and capture the miracle of shared history, shared hopes, shared humanity. So much of that connection we usually experience easily, but today we must make traditional effort to achieve it. For example, the other day I pulled up to the drive-in window at the pharmacy. I was wearing a mask, as was the helpful young man at the window. He rang up my medicine, he handed it to me, and I said, "Thank you." And then I added, "I'm smiling at you, you know." I could see his eyes crinkle, and he responded, "I'm smiling at you too." In another time, we wouldn't have had to tell each other what our body language was already saying. But nowadays, we do. To be able to nurture such connection, we now need to rely on what remains available to us. Words help, yes. But even more, eye contact helps. We need to take more time to look into the eyes of those dear ones we would normally touch, as well as those whom we meet more casually. We must rely more deeply on what their eyes tell us and respond to that. Now, I wish I could tell you that I first understood the power of the eyes as windows to the soul from the Bible or from Shakespeare or from some lofty source, but the truth is I grasped it when I was a teenager, and my mother, trying to get to the bottom of a mystery in our household, told me I must look her straight in the eye and answer her question. That's when I discovered there was no hiding anything from Mother. I also learned how much eyes can reveal in what they ask and in what they answer. Today, kept at a distance from others, often not sensing their body language, if they appear on a screen, for example, or not seeing the full message in their partially covered faces, we can still look into their eyes. It seems we need to rely on those eyes even more. looking for the spark or the curtain, the hope or the hurt that may need answering. Social distancing can be better managed by identifying where it diminishes us and then finding constructive ways to repair that loss. I miss connection and try to create it by consciously saying aloud what I normally conveyed nonverbally and by becoming more aware of eye contact. Each one of you will find your own path. May it serve both your needs and the needs of others. Thank you.